Chet, you know what time it is. Gotta give the fans, what they want. It's Friday. Initiate the gambling. What is up, everybody, and welcome to your Friday. Welcome to the Friday stream, to the Friday show. Happy to be here with you guys. It's going to be a fun one. You know, it's crazy. It's like a kind of dry week. Like, it feels like the news is a little bit dry. But at the same time, we got this to talk about, and I think it's going to be really good conversation because I can't believe you guys. I can't believe you guys. And so we're going to have to talk about this. We're going to have to figure this out together. What is it going to take? Chat? Holy! Guys are really letting me down on some stuff. But we'll talk about it. We'll get into it, of course. Break it all down. We've also got some, I guess we'll call them tidbits. Like, got a couple tidbits. Stuff about Sentry casting. Woo! You know? And also crazy stuff going on with Daredevil Born Again. People found where they're shooting, took some images, and the internet is losing their mind. It's in a good way, but I'm real nervous. I'm real nervous about what is going to happen with this Daredevil Born Again show and how the fans might react to it. So I'm a little bit nervous about it. Mr. J. Westman says, let's go coffee and stream. Let's have a good one, chat. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I just want Garfield to come back again. Me too. Me too. Morning, Josh. Hope all is well with you and the family. Yes, all is well. But Liam had a rough night last night, so I think him and his mom are both napping right now because, like, he was up a lot, up early. Not to take you down the whole dad rabbit hole, but around his age, kids will sometimes have a regression. They're developing mentally, and that can cause sort of like a shakeup. And they'll regress, and they'll go back to a lot of things that are really familiar to them, because it's almost like their perception's widening, and that's a little bit scary. But yeah, he's fine. He's fine. Normal kid stuff, going through it. He'll be all right. You know what I mean? So, chat, we're gonna let's hang out a little bit as people get in here and all that. Wait, gambling's not working? What? Let me try to reset the bot. Is it really not working or what? Any Unity news? The only thing I can say on Unity is that so a lot of people have read the first chapter at this point. A lot of the Kickstarter backers, a lot of the collectors and everything. And the reception's been really, really positive. People really like the first chapter. It's not a perfect first chapter. There were a couple of typo things that we caught. I actually already got them corrected. The letterer already fixed that up. There's a few questions, things that could be a little bit more clear in the book. So we had a good stream on Wednesday where we were chatting about it with the collectors. And, I took down a lot of notes, a lot of things that they, had brought up. And we're going to address those things moving forward in the book. So the thing that's really cool is this is just the first chapter. Now, it's a chunky first chapter. It's like 45 pages. Oh, my God. But it is just a first chapter. So a lot of these questions that people have, we can address those. We can sort of fill in the world building as we go to explain things. And it's great. It's great to have an audience to, bounce those ideas off of, get the feedback, and, make it even better. Because in all seriousness, a lot of you guys that supported the Kickstarter, you took a chance on me, and you were like, "Hey, man, this Josh guy, I like him on YouTube or streaming or whatever. He says he can make a comic book, so I'm gonna throw some money at him and trust that he can make a comic book." And I think the thing that's really cool is like, bro, we're making that shit, and a lot of people really, really liked the first chapter. Like, I expected the reception to be positive, but I mean, I'm a little bit blown away just at how much love, interest, intrigue, excitement. A lot of people really excited about that first chapter. So that's really cool. So that whole process is fun, man. And there's a lot of there's a lot of other stuff kind of going on behind the scenes, but that's like basically your update for now. I think we will launch the Second Chance Kickstarter next week. I'm not sure when, and I have a lot to do before that. So we'll figure that out, and I think we'll launch that Second Chance Kickstarter next week, and that'll just be a chance for you. If you didn't get in on the first Kickstarter, there's a chance for you to get in on the second. There will be some new stuff, so even if you were in on the first, like maybe you just got the book or the digital preview for the first Kickstarter, now you've read chapter 1 and you're like, oh shit, this thing's kind of dope. Maybe now you want to get a t-shirt or something else. We'll figure that out. So you'll have additional stuff to be able to get in the next one as well. But yeah, it's really good. Will you go back and edit chapter 1 with the suggestions? There's a couple of suggestions that I'm considering adding, like a little bit of like a line of dialogue here, a line of dialogue there, but not really. Not really. I mean, I think instead of changing chapter 1, it's more like, how do we address these questions moving forward? How can chapter 2, 3, 4, 5, and maybe even some of the other stuff we put into the book, like the special edition is going to have like a bunch of crazy stuff, maps, data, reports from Unity Tower, all sorts of stuff like that. It's more like, how do we make it so those questions are answered and things become clear as we move forward? Like the main thing that I got from people's thing with chapter 1 is that when it on its first read, as you just read through it, it is very successful. Like it is good. It flows. There are some things that maybe there's some questions. Maybe there's some like, oh, wait, this wasn't really clear. But no, we're not going to make a lot of edits to chapter 1, to be completely frank, because it works. It works. Warhammer news. So I don't know if that's a troll or not, but there's actually crazy Warhammer news out there. And I have a video that I'm going to make. I'm going to do it, guys. Maybe I'll spend time on Sunday working on it and try to get it out by Monday. There is a crazy thing happening in Warhammer lore right now. So let's stop everything and spend like 20 minutes on this and explain it to everybody, okay? So, wait, hang on. Before we go crazy, it seems like gambling is working, so I don't have to reset anything. Seems like it's gone. Okay. Warhammer, what happened? Let me explain. When's the next Warhammer video? Hopefully on Monday. Hopefully on Monday. Let me explain. So, the Horus Heresy is this huge moment in the Warhammer lore, okay? But for a long time, it was just kind of referred to. It was spoken about in a lot of supplemental materials. Your indexes and codexes for playing the game, magazine articles, maybe short stories, things like that. So it was never fully fleshed out as far as what actually happened during the Horus Heresy. A lot of it is just reference because 40K takes place 10,000 years after the Horus Heresy, which is the current setting. So there's been this huge series of books that have been going on over the past decade, really. I think since it's been a long time. I'm not 100% sure when this series started, but it's actually like this huge series of novels that's talking about what's literally going down during the Horus Heresy. So the very last part of that entire series recently came out. It's not officially out in the States. I think it came out early in Canada or something. So people started reading ahead because everybody, of course, wants to know like what's the spoilers? What is the deal? Okay? So, dude, some crazy shit was revealed at the end of that book. It changes a lot. it recontextualizes some new developing lore as well. And it has huge implications for just all of Warhammer. So it's a really big deal. I'll probably do a video on it. Probably going to write it up and do that on Sunday. Don't spoil it? No, I'm not going to spoil it. It's just, here's what I'll say. There was one big fundamental thing from the old lore that has now been retconned. So that's the basic idea, and so I'll break it down and talk about it in a video and everything like that. It's pretty dope. Josh, gambling is broken. I keep losing. Broken for whom? Seems to be working just as I intended. And what's up, Twitch? What's up, Twitter? And what is up, YouTube? And I think Kick. Think we're still over on Kick. See, look, somebody just won 3,000. Everybody relax. Damn, who is this small streamer with 12 viewers? Oh, yeah, over on Twitch. We only got 12 right now. Hey, look, call you guys the Dirty Dozen. I'll take it. The Dirty Dozen over on Twitch. Hell yeah, Twitch gang. Stand up. Yeah. The house always wins? Yeah, usually. That is usually the way that it works. For sure. They are dirty, though? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. He forgot to mention we had a motherfucking hype train. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see that. I saw that you gave us 100 bits, though. Woo! That's what she said, says Vito. I don't know what that means, but thanks for the bits, baby. Thanks for the bits. Hype train. Yeah, again, I don't know what that means, but whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. Are we fixed Twitter? Are we fixed Twitter in this stream too? I think Twitter's in the stream. I just don't think there's a lot of people watching on Twitter. Let me double check. Are we streaming right now? What the hell? It doesn't show us streaming on Twitch or on Twitter. God, dude, I'm sorry. I know some of you guys don't like it when I complain about. Oh yeah, no, it does say we are there. 13 over on Twitter. Twitter's beating Twitch. What? That's crazy. That is crazy. Okay, anyway, a couple of just show notes things before we get into like the topics and what we want to talk about. Again, chat and internet really letting me down as per usual. Couple of things that I wanted to say. Number one, we're going to draw for the $200 GameStop gift card on Monday, okay? So the homie did not get back to me, so we're going to draw for that gift card on Monday, which is... Wait. Yeah. Technically, still January. And then we'll have to draw for another one on Friday. Oh, my God. Okay. So we'll draw on Monday, and if you are a member here on YouTube, you're automatically entered to win the $200 GameStop gift card. If you go sign up on Twitch, you get 2 entries to that. I've been talking about this, but there's the free Jeff Bezos money. So if you have Amazon Prime, everybody has Amazon Prime. You get a free subscription to a Twitch streamer each and every month. It's on Jeff Bezos. So you can take some of the Jeff Bezos money and give it to the Den of Nerds. And also, if you're flat broke, you could do that and become a Nerd Venger, basically for free. And you get access to all the behind-the-scenes stuff that we do for members. It's pretty freaking cool. But if you're a member here on YouTube, it costs you essentially nothing. You can become a member on YouTube, Twitch as well. And then you get multiple entries to win the $200 GameStop gift card. It's pretty cool. So I just want to let you guys know. So if you haven't gone and done that, you might want to do it before Monday so you can get your second entry to win. And then looks like we're going to have to do another one on Friday of next week. So we're giving out $400 in GameStop gift cards next week. Maybe you'll get one. Maybe you'll get both, and the whole community will hate you. I won't hate you. I'll be like, damn, well done. But you will catch some hate. That is true. I just want to fit in with the cool kids. Hell yeah. That's what she said. Multiple entries. Oh, God. Oh, God. Has anybody in the EU ever won? That's a good question. You know what? I'm not entirely sure. Some people don't, like, say it or share it. look, here's the thing. The gift cards are pretty cool. They have like a code on the back. So all I do is send you guys a picture of that code on the back, and you can use that online or in the store. Like it literally works. As long as you have all the data for it right then and there, boom. Plus, you can't run a train on anyone from Twitter, says Lord Vito. No comment. No comment. I'm EU, and if you want, pick an EU winner. Yeah, well, what do you mean? Like, do you guys not have GameStop? It's hard if you're not American. What, like life? Josh, the beard looking crazy. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? I just trimmed it up. I'm in Canada. I had to use an American GameStop. Oh, really? So you did have to use an American GameStop. That's kind of wild. Look, I mean, I don't know how all that works, but just go to America. Jeez. Sheesh. Spicy stream today? I don't know. I'm feeling pretty... I'm like right down the road. I'm not really feeling manic. I'm not depressed. I'm right on that rail. Just come to America. Just be American. That's my advice. Oh, we were talking about GameStop. That has gone bankrupt in my country. Oh. Yeah, it's probably going to become bankrupt here. Maybe we'll just switch it to Amazon. Won't that be fucking ironic? We'll get all the Bezos money, and then you can win more Bezos money. We're just living in a Bezos world, to be honest. Josh, always a little spicy? Is that true, guys? Am I always a little spicy? Chat? Am I? Is that true? Am I a little spicy? A little spicy? A little spicy? Spicy. It sucks here too. Wait, what? GameStop is gone from my country. Damn, bro. First that game came for the GameStops. You know? Get him, Jeff. I feel like you've been extra spicy lately. I dig it. Really? I feel like exact opposite is happening. And what the hell just happened to our music? The hell? What's happening here? You guys think I've been extra spicy? It's a new year and a new me. I was literally like, you know, I'm going to be less combative. I want to be more chill. I want to be more loving. And you guys think I'm being more spicy? In what way? What you mean? I hope they make Andrew the Spider-Man of the soft reboot. Dude, me too. I feel like you're less spicy. Thank you. Lizzo to play Andrew Lincoln. Perfect casting. Perfect casting. Spicy Josh, need more flame. That's how I, like in my head, that's how you said that. That's how you said that. In all the right ways. I don't know what that means. Sheesh. Maybe you guys are more spicy. You ever think of that? Did you ever think of that? Vito's doing cat stuff over on Twitch. Jeez. When does Papa Josh not turn into Spicy Josh? I don't know. When everything goes my way. If everything goes my way, we'll be fine. We'll be chill. It'll be fine. Mm-hmm. But the moment it doesn't. The moment that it strays. I'll lose my mind. I like that jerk chicken spice. Oh, yeah, no, that's pretty good. Josh has turned on the spicy mod for the den. The spicy mod. Hell yeah. Wait, what? I don't know if I like that upon second thoughts. Is that even good? How would Zesty Josh sound? Why don't you use your imagination, Dirty? Because that's like a cancelable thing. I feel like if I take that the wrong way, I'll be thrown in the dungeon. Without the spice, the streams would be boring. Keep the spice. It keeps us on our toes. Speaking of spice, Dune 2, less than a month away? Is that true? That's kind of crazy, huh? About a month away? That's pretty interesting. Y'all gonna see it? New year, new beard? I guess. I mean, it's the same beard. I just didn't trim it as much. Dude, you guys realize how cold it's been? GameStop isn't even close to going bankrupt? Oh, nice. Is everybody still diamond handing that shit? I haven't followed it. Haven't been following it. Do you guys ever just drink a beer and watch funny dog and cat videos? No. Maybe when I was like 16. And you might be like, wait, what? Yes. Yes. Think about it. Are you going to see Madam Web? Hell nah. Hell nah, I ain't seeing Madam Web. Are you guys going to see Madam Web? Is anybody going to see Madam Web? It's tracking at $25 million. I don't really think so. Oh, a cheer 100 bits. Is that like $100? It's probably like a quarter or something. Wait, what? Why does the one chip challenge even exist? Because we love it spicy. Oh, shit. Okay. Damn. All right. I didn't know about that. Madam Web just spicy Morbius? Oh, man. You know, I just got to say, I think it's just a bad break that the Marvels is going to come out, or that it already did come out, and it really underperformed. You know what I mean? And now it seems like another female-led banger is going to be ignored by the audience. And look, to me, I look at those two things. You know, I look at the one and then I look at the other. And 2 + 2 equals no coincidence whatsoever. I see no link in any way between those movies. It just seems like bad luck, a tough break, complete coincidence. And if you think anything other than that, you're the problem. See yourself out. So, nothing to see here. Hope it does well. I wonder if people are really gonna, because like to me, like Madam Web is kind of different than the Marvels. You know, when it comes to the MCU, I expect a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like competently made movies, a well thought out story, a shared universe where anything can happen. You know, the MCU. When it comes to Sony, I expect things like my mom was studying spiders in the Amazon. I don't know, something to do with Spider-Man, I guess. Craven the animal rights activist. Madam Web TikTok movie changing the iconic line. Like that, this is all just par for the course, right? So I do wonder though, and look, you know, hey, look, grifter's got a grift. I get it, man. It's nice work if you can get it. So I do wonder, like, is there gonna be this thing where people really try to shit on Madam Web in the same way they did the Marvels and try to link it to the MCU? I don't know. Like, again, there's literally no link and no connection, and they're not similar in basically any ways, and it's just kind of a complete coincidence that they're both bombing. But also, like, isn't it a little bit that it's Sony making a Madam Web movie? Like, isn't that ridiculous? I don't know. You know, we were talking about this late last year, right? And the MCU, I think, made a pretty wise decision in delaying most of the stuff out of 2024. The only MCU movie is Deadpool 3, which is going to be a banger. Everybody's really excited about it. That's going to be great. But it's like Sony was like, okay, but we're still going to make sure that people are hating Marvel shit, and the discourse around Marvel stuff is absolutely horrible because they're turning in Madam Web, which, I mean, like, again, we don't even have to, like, I almost feel bad. Like, I feel like Madam Web can't Yeah, it's just bad, right? I like feel bad about it. But you've got that going on. Then you've got Craven, the animal rights activist. I can't wait for the discourse around that. I was told what the post-credit scene is for Craven, and oh man, it's right up that Sony alley the way you would think it is. Can't wait for that one. And then you've got Venom 3. Now, Venom 3 could be cool. Maybe Venom 3 is like, oh shit, they're actually going to figure this out. Like, this could be dope. Like, wow, crazy stuff, right? But the discourse around those Marvel movies is going to be really bad. I mean, I'll tell you this. I'm not going to see Madam Web. I'm not going to see Craven. I have no intention of seeing those movies. And not just like, oh, I'm not going to see them in the theater. Like, I will never watch those movies. To this day, I have never watched The Flash. I never will. To this day, I have never watched Morbius. I never will. Never. I will never watch that movie. It was free on Netflix. I'll never do it. You know? And real talk, like, I think that's how a lot of you feel about the Marvels. I didn't feel that way. I kind of still don't feel that way. I think the Marvels got overhated a little bit. It's a messy, goobly glob, weird kind of a movie, and it could have been way better. But, yeah, I don't even think it was that bad. But I think that's how a lot of you guys felt about the Marvels, where you were like, dude, this shit doesn't matter. I already know everything about it. I'm not going to go watch this movie. You know what I mean? And I think that, you know, that's a real problem for Marvel is, and this is a real problem of their making, you know, they kind of wanted to make, I guess, things that weren't as necessarily connected and tied to the overall multiverse. Like, that's just, like, you get a lot of that, right? And therefore, people were like, okay, well, I guess I don't need to watch this. You know? So, yeah, we'll see. I mean, we're currently in this era of, oh, Marvel's so down, that everything's dead, and, you know, Marvel movies are dead. Oh, shit, we're so back, you know, depending on what rumor and what thing happened. So it's a weird time, but I'm still, for me, it's like I put things in a category of like, this is important and will likely be cool. And then this is not important. I'll never watch it. And as the audience begins to sort of fracture in that way, I think it's going to sort of force Marvel to probably do what they always should have done. And that's just pick the A-listers, pick the B-listers, maybe, and focus on projects about them. And you can definitely do a project about a C-level character, a D-level character, but it should not have a $200 million budget. You know, and maybe some of those characters work better in a Disney Plus show. I'm not really sure. But, yeah, they literally can't afford to make movies like that anymore. So I think they're going to have to lean real big into the A-lister stuff. You know, there's a lot of rumors about what could be going on with the soft reboot and the lead up to Secret Wars. Some people say, you know, Robert Downey Jr. is going to come back. Some people say he won't. I still think there's a chance that he does, more or less permanently. And I know that's wild to think about, but I mean, just look from the business perspective as to what is happening to Marvel as a brand. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's a wild time out there to be a Marvel fan, for sure. It's a wild time to be a Star Wars fan. Hey, real quick, this isn't on the notes. We're not going to do like a full segment on this, but I was curious, chat. Did you guys see Daisy Ridley's comments on the interview where they were kind of asking her about the backlash and stuff like that? I felt like she handled it really, really well. And it was interesting to see a lot of the fans kind of galvanize around Rey and kind of back Daisy Ridley up. And, you know, that's so interesting to me. There's a route by which she could garner a lot more respect. And I think that regardless of what happens with Charmin, like, look, here's the thing with Charmin. You need to turn in a great Star Wars movie that doesn't feel overtly political. That's the assignment. Like that, like, I don't know how that's controversial. Like that is such a benign statement. I feel like that's obvious. You need to create a banger of a Star Wars movie that's not overtly political. Like, that's it. And I think she can do that, dude. Like, she can do that. I don't know if she will do that. I don't know what the story is, but that's all they need to do. It would be fascinating to watch the audience and the fandom kind of respond to things Daisy says, because Daisy, it kind of feels like Daisy's a bit of a real one, a little bit based with that reaction. There's a way out of this. This is what always boggles my mind about these executives, Kathy Kennedy in particular, and like the whole situation with fandom is that I think the tendency is to focus on the negative and really get butthurt about criticism and the fact that negativity tends to perform really well and be really big. But to me, it's always been like confusing because businesses and executives used to have to pay to like get information about their consumers. They would have to pay, get research, like go out and pay. And now, like, you can just look at YouTube or Twitter or whatever, TikTok, whatever, and you can actually just see what fans are saying. And it's like, look, maybe they're going to be harsher about it because it's the internet and it's Thunderdome, but there's still like ways to take that information, respond to it, not only via the content itself, but through PR. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I just feel like there's a way to do it right that could actually like turn the narrative and get people to be interested and be more positive about it. But I guess we'll just kind of see. But yeah, what are your thoughts on that? What did she say? Well, she was asked about the backlash, and she was asked about Star Wars fans saying they didn't want a female director and protagonist and all this sort of stuff. And the tendency there, like, here's why I think people respected and resonated with what she said. I think the tendency there is to be like, yes, the patriarch, yes, like literally the lady did from, the other show or whatever. It's bait. And if you take the bait, you're essentially there to say, I validate what you just said. The fans are bad. We've got bad fans. That's unfortunate. Daisy said, my take on that is that things get blown out of proportion. My take on that is that I've been treated with nothing but love. I don't actually experience that, and I think it's completely blown out of proportion. And even if that's not true, that's the right answer. That's a based answer. It's very similar to when Cavill was asked about toxic fans, and he kind of said, I don't see it as that. I see it as passion, and they have a right to be passionate. This is the thing they love, and you're arbitraging their love of the thing. They have the right to react to it in whatever way you want, right? So a lot of fans and even people that commentate, and dare I say it, even people that grift, are looking for actors or actresses to handle these questions in such a way that doesn't go for the bait. And anytime somebody kind of doesn't go for the bait, it's seen as respectable. And so Daisy getting some points with a lot of fans because of that answer. So just kind of curious, like, what do you guys think of that? That exact comparison was made on Open Bar yesterday. Well, there you go. Great minds think alike, maybe, huh? Actually, speaking of Open Bar, we're going to react to a video from The Drinker later in today's stream. Serendipity. Always told you, I like The Drinker, man. I think he's one of the good ones, for sure. On your left? Hey, you don't say that. Yeah, it is kind of cool, huh? I like to point these kind of moments out because there's a lot of division. In some ways, I think social media kind of makes that division worse. So, it's always not, like, we do a lot of like nuanced takes here. And I think it's cool to bring these kind of things up and just be like, you know what? That was a base take. Mad respect for Daisy Ridley on that. And hopefully, like, if she just kind of keeps that up, that would be, that could be really good. Echo pitch meeting. I literally have that pulled up as well. That's on we're going to watch that later. Carl. We're going to watch that later too. Hell yeah. Look, it's a shiny chat. Is it shiny? What does that mean? You got a shiny chat over there? What the hell does that even mean? Black Star, what's up, buddy? Good to see you over on Twitch, man. Good to see you over on Twitch. Gerple, welcome to the Nerd Vengers. You are a Nerd Venger now. Remind people that social media isn't real life. Yeah, I think that is good, man. I think that's good and important to realize that it's not real life. Also, you got to kind of filter what happens on social media because, again, it is that internet Thunderdome. We're all kind of prepared to show up and give a hot take or defend a hot take and, kind of draw the proverbial line in the sand. That's how the internet works. So a little bit of it's like, don't get too butthurt, just like understand what it is. But, yeah, it's also good to realize, like, dude, you can just turn that shit off. Go outside, touch some grass, go for a walk. I went for a long walk with the dogs yesterday, man. It's a good walk. And, yeah, it was just good. Good to get out and get some fresh air, et cetera, et cetera. So, a lot of spicy takes. You guys got a lot of cool takes about that. Give us some nerd coin. All right, I'll drop some coinage for the people watching on YouTube here. Remember, we're only doing gambling for the first hour from now on. So get those rolls in, because in 20 minutes I'm shutting her off, because we got to get profesh, and we got to talk about the actual shit that's going on. You understand? All right, let me get this pulled up, because I want to talk about things and stuff and all that. Okay. So let's talk about these crazy Spider-Man 4 rumors and why the fan base is driving me absolutely crazy, and you guys are all completely wrong and I'm right. I don't know what happened. It used to be the thing where I'd come out and I would talk about stuff and basically everybody would follow me like a nerdy messiah. And everybody would be like, that's the take. And we hold this take up and we follow Josh into the gates of Avalon. It was dope. And then all of a sudden, everybody was like, no, I don't like your take. No, I don't agree with your take. And now everybody's like fucking disagreeing with me. And it's crazy and it's horrible. I wish we could go back to the days where everybody just blindly followed me. Anyways, what am I talking about here? Okay. We're talking about a new report about Andrew Garfield's and Tobey Maguire's being in Spider-Man 4, okay? And this came via Daniel RPK. Has good sources, very reliable. Had another scoop kind of confirming the trades yesterday, which is good because a lot of people were starting to realize Daniel doesn't always get things right, but I would say still very good. Still very good. And the report was that Tom Holland and FEIGE reportedly want Spider-Man 4 to be a more grounded story, while Sony would like to bring Tobey Maguire and Andrew back. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. The way that people ran with this, and maybe some of this stuff isn't even Daniel's fault, but like the way he reports stuff is so vague sometimes that I think the takes from his reports can kind of go off the rails. He technically didn't say that. What he technically said was that they are strongly considering bringing Tobey and Andrew back, period. They, meaning everybody involved. He then went on to say that Sony wants the movie to be massive, and FEIGE and Tom Holland want the movie to be more grounded. But, like, I kind of feel like he's couching that a little bit, because technically he did not say Sony wants the Spider-Boys back, but FEIGE doesn't. And that, I think, is the take. That's what a lot of people took away from it, and I just don't believe that. Like, I flat out don't believe that. Another thread to this that's interesting is that I reported that I had heard Tobey Maguire was going to be in Spider-Man 4 like a year ago, okay? And I first heard it pop up. It actually came from one of these crazy scooper people, and they told me it, and I was shocked when I first heard it, because I, like many of you, thought that this movie was going to be Kingpin, Daredevil, was going to be more grounded. It was not going to be big and blown up. And this person, a very reliable person, told me that's not what the movie is. The movie's going to be multiversal. Now, I want to get into the weeds with this a little bit more, but let's just stop for a second, because the real thing here, and the real thing that upset me, that I kind of can't believe, is that a lot of people wanted the grounded. They were like actually saying, no, don't bring in Tobey and Andrew. Don't do that. Just stick to the ground level stuff with Peter Parker. And so, chat, why? Why? Why is this happening? And do you agree? Like, what's going on? Like, I don't understand. Did we all not have fun? Like, did you not have fun in Spider-Man No Way Home? Because as far as I'm concerned, that's like the last time we were fully united as a fan base and everybody lost their minds. So what is happening? Why do we have a bunch of fans and a bunch of people on social media and maybe a bunch of you in chat right now that don't want Toby and Andrew back? I don't understand. I'm at a loss. Explain it to me. Explain it to me. What am I missing? Why are you guys all on this train and I'm on the other train? Yes, but I also had fun reading Craven's Last Hunt. Well, yeah, for sure. I mean, I had fun reading Ultimate Spider-Man #1, you know? I want Grounded. They don't need to be in it. Why do you trust Sony Brass or the best producer ever? But again, I don't even think that's real. Like, look, there's a lot of evidence to suggest that Feige wants them back as well. Like, they're supposed to set up Secret Wars. Tom's supposed to be... I'm working on a video right now. Tom Holland is supposed to be, like, the chosen one of the next... Like, the whole thing. Avengers 5 and 6, Tom Holland's supposed to be the chosen one. I have this big video I've been working on, this big theory video. I'm excited about it. Dude, you can't just do Spider-Man 4 completely grounded and not have a through line that sets up in the multiverse saga. So again, I don't even think it's Feige versus Sony. And I'm kind of frustrated that Daniel tried to couch it that way, because now you got a bunch of people being like, oh yeah, Sony bad. Like, dude, I'm telling you right now, that's bullshit. Feige wants them back too. 100% he wants them back. And he probably wants the story to be grounded, but that's not the same thing as the plot being grounded and not being able to access the multiverse, right? So... Look, you know, the other things about it, like, in his reporting, Daniel literally said that Ant-Man is supposed to be in this movie. So you're telling me you're going to get a grounded Spider-Man 4 with Ant-Man? Like, come on, man. That's not the plan. Like, that was not going to be the plan. It feels to me like it's obviously some kind of a hybrid movie. You're going to have some street-level stuff for sure. By the way, you've had street-level stuff in every single one of these Spider-Man movies. I understand that they're not completely grounded and that they get really big ideas happen. But, like, Doctor Strange is fighting Spider-Man on Bleecker Street before they go into, like, the, you know, mirror dimension and all that sort of stuff. Like, it's always grounded. It's fucking Spider-Man. But then, of course, yes, it gets crazy and wild elements come in, right? So I don't know, man. Like, this whole thing is crazy. Josh hates stories and narratives. Dude, what? Here's another thing that's pissing me off about this. And this video is just going to be therapy and me just yelling at you guys because I can't believe you guys. What happened? What happened? You know? Years ago, do you guys remember the stream after Spider-Man No Way Home? It was one of the biggest streams we've ever had. It was like a record-breaking stream, and we're all just showering in the glory of what we had just witnessed. And like 2 years later, we're like, nah, fuck it, don't bring him back. I want Peter doing pizza time deliveries. Maybe he delivers with Daredevil. You know, that's kind of what it feels like. Spider-Man No Way Home is an incredible story for that actual character. And they use the multiverse and they use the Spider-Man in a very meaningful way. They essentially become kind of like the Uncle Bens. You know, they kind of, you know, mentor Peter in a really weird moment where Aunt May dies. He then makes the ultimate sacrifice, sacrificing everything he knows, sacrificing everybody that knows him, and then becomes the Spider-Man that we know. It's a great movie, and it's also the craziest, nuts multiverse thing we've ever seen. So I just don't understand why, given Across the Spider-Verse, Beyond the Spider-Verse, all the multiverse goodness, like, we all acknowledge that all of that shit's great, but we got to draw the line at Spider-Man 4. Like, no, Spider-Man 4 with Tom Holland has to just be grounded. Like, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I don't get it, man. Yeah, boo multiverse. Boo multiverse. Fucking why? You know, all of the highest grossing comic book movies over the past several years have involved the multiverse, except maybe Guardians 3. All of them. All of them. All of them. The ones we love the most have the multiverse. Like, what is this whole like, bro, multiverse no good? I feel like I'm living in Bizarro world where the concept of hating the multiverse is just a fashionable opinion that doesn't actually have any tangible basis in like the fucking results. Like the results. The box office, the critical acclaim, like all of it. Like, I don't understand. What is the disconnect between me and you? Like, what is happening? Multiverse of Madness is very controversial. It made, like, what did it make? $950 million? You know, it's the second highest grossing MCU movie other than Spider-Man No Way Home from the past 3 years. So you might say it's controversial. It made basically $1 billion, dude. Without China. So I just, like, again, I don't understand. So that movie being controversial erases Beyond the Spider-Verse, erases Spider-Man No Way Home. Like, I just don't get it. I really don't get it. I don't understand. People didn't know better? What does that mean? What does that mean? People didn't know better. Like, what? Yeah, I don't understand it, dude. I don't understand where this multiverse hate is coming from. And we're going to watch the Drinkers video later. I want to see what he has to say about it. But again, I cannot actually see the evidence that this multiverse fatigue. Frankly, I'm on the complete opposite side from you guys. Frankly, I'm over here like, bro, you put Secret Wars up on the big board 2 years ago. I haven't seen enough multiverse. The juice, the joy of Time Runs Out, the joy of Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars run had to do with the multiverse. I haven't seen enough. I'm like, we're wrapping up the multiverse saga, and we've had like two projects in the MCU that heavily deal with the multiverse, and you guys are like, enough's enough. Like, I literally don't understand it, guys. I don't get it. I don't understand you. What is happening? This is crazy to me. It's crazy to me, you know? And like this whole idea that bringing them back was just going to be gimmicky. Bringing them back would just be like, did you listen to the interview that all three of the Spider-Men gave when they wrapped? Have you not been following all the leaks, rumors, and reports about what they're saying? All of them said, I would come back, but it would have to be meaningful. They all said, I would come back, but it would have to be meaningful. And we're just going to throw that out the window and assume it won't be meaningful, it won't be good, and we don't want it. Like, I'm just so, bro, I am so on the other side from you guys that I it's really hard. Like, it's hard for me to, like, understand the fuck y'all are saying. I don't understand it. So please, like, fill me in. Let me know. What are you talking about? And somebody said this is a good chat. Let's see this. Maybe let's pull this up. You're focusing on the wrong thing. We don't hate seeing them back. We hate it being abused. Tom Peter needs his own story first. He's just now stepping out of others' shadows. Right, but do you think that he was under their shadows in Spider-Man No Way Home? Because again, I would argue that movie is a brilliant arc for Tom Holland Spider-Man. Brilliant. It just happens to use multiversal elements in order to get him through some real shit. Like, again, I just don't understand it. Like, you're saying we don't want it to feel abused. When has it felt abused? When? Like, when? You don't want it to be abused. Well, when? When did they do that? Like, I don't understand. We don't want it to feel abused. Okay, what's the evidence that it would be? Why do you think it would be? And we want Spider-Man to just step out of his shadow and be his own person. You know, look, I can respect that. I understand that. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. I'm currently reading The Ultimate Spider-Man, and that's one of the things I like about that. It's kind of like taking Spider-Man back to sort of a root core place, understanding the drives and the things that are going on with Spider-Man. But, like, let's not act like he wasn't a brilliant part of Infinity War, a brilliant part of Endgame. Like, I'm just... Like, I don't know. I still don't get it. I'm sorry. Like, even saying that to me, it still doesn't even make sense. And here's the other thing. This is what's crazy. The evidence suggests it's going to be both. Like, the evidence suggests that you will have Peter operating as the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. You're going to have Fisk. You're going to have Daredevil. But there will obviously be something else that is going on. You're obviously going to have the Spider-Men pop up because there's some other big crazy thing cooking, probably directly to do with the spell that Doctor Strange casts at the end of No Way Home. And it just feels like a lot of people are like, no, I reject that. And instead, I just want the Wilson Fisk, Daredevil, thing. And I don't want all this other, like, futuristic stuff. And I'm just like, bro, that shit is crazy to me. I don't understand it. I just don't get it, man. I just don't get it. Let Spider-Man be... Wait, let me try to read that. Let Spider-Man be... be where he fights Sinister Six and gets whooped and finds the symbiote and then gets whisked off to Battle World for Secret Wars. I mean, I don't hate that. That seems like a cool idea to me. The thing that I can't get over is the idea that they're going to bring Toby and Andrew back, which is fucking awesome. Like, bro, real talk, like, I'd almost do anything and deal with anything in the story just to get Toby back. That, to me, he is so important. He's said to be the lead of Secret Wars along with some other really cool people. Like, I guess I'm just worried that, like, the fandom's becoming so jaded and bitter that a thing that should just be dope as hell is now has to be met with all these, like, pedantic, uppity, like, I'm not so sure kind of opinions. And that just feels stupid. Like, it's comic books. Like, what? We're talking about a guy that has fucking spider powers, dude. So, I don't know. Like, this whole reverence over bombast thing, I just don't get it. It doesn't feel like the fans that I used to hang out with and be excited about Marvel with. You know? So, I don't know, man. I'm like all the way on the other side of this where I'm incredibly excited that these guys are back. Partially, like, because I don't think they would come back unless it was meaningful. You know? How can you understand anybody else's perspective if you're just saying the same thing? Well, dude, help me. Come on. Put it into the chat. Like, you tell me. It's lazy fan service? When has it ever been lazy fan service with them? So you want us to like what you like, LMAO? Well, only because I'm right. Only because I'm right and you're all wrong and buttholes. How about that, Kendall? How's that one feel? Yeah, no, it has very little to do with me other than the fact that I'm right. That I have the apex, this is the apex take. It's the take. But please, tell me why I'm wrong. I'm very open to listening to why I'm wrong. If you can actually give me something that I could... Oh, okay, But I haven't seen any of that. Literally none of that. I haven't seen a single person utter something that makes a goddamn bit of sense, and you're all letting me down, and I can't fucking believe it. Okay, that's a good clip. That's nice. Okay, so I was playing it up a little bit for the YouTube clip there, but I really do think you're all wrong. So yeah, let's talk about it for a little bit. Collins? What? No, just put it into the chat. Okay, let's see here. I'll try to see what you guys are saying here. Toby and Andrew, can Def be brought in? Wait, what? You guys are really upset, I can see. You know, the chat's kind of flying. What happened in 2024, Josh? No, I know. Okay. You're wrong because it's going to be both. Yeah, I mean, I guess it is going to be both. You know. Okay, should we go to the poll and see if you got... Did I make a convincing argument, or should we see if you guys still disagree with me? Whew, let's see. Let's go to the polls. Let's go to the polls. Is Josh right? Yes or no? Boom. Let me know, chat. Let me know. I'm really curious to see you know, how the responses go in this poll here, you know? Did it send? Okay, I was going to say it didn't even go. Josh going to lose so bad in this poll. Don't say that. Don't put that evil on me. We agree with you now, Josh. Hey, look, man. That's how I feel. You know what I mean? Like, that is how I feel. You're saying Toby and Andrew will only come back if it's something meaningful, but everyone has a prize, Toby and Andrew included. Look, I just don't agree with that. And I find it so weird that, like, the way you rationalize this is, yeah, but everybody has a price. They're definitely going to just throw money at them, and it's going to be meaningless. Like, the only evidence of that is your jaded outlook. That's it. Josh said literally got rid of Collins for that reason. Wait, what do you mean? No, I got rid of Collins because they're not the best content, to be honest. Like, usually, like, I just get in this mode where I just want to, like, chat with the person, and we end up spending like 5-10 minutes, and just it kind of falls apart a little bit, you know? Are people who don't like this confused as to how the Defenders saga and the multiverse saga can be interwoven? I don't know. Maybe. It's a good question. Oh, only evidence is long list of crap Sony movies. Yeah, but like Toby and Andrew didn't come back for a Sony movie. They came back for a Sony and Marvel collaboration. You know? A rigged poll? What do you mean? What's rigged about it? How's it rigged? How's it rigged? And also, by the way, all you negative Nancys, take a look at that. We're about 50-50. So all of you that thought, oh, dude, everybody feels the same way I feel. Oh, dude, Josh is going to get crushed in this poll. Nah. Wrong. Again. So stick that in your pipe and smoke it. Frickin' buttholes. Positivity wins in 2024. You're right. Let's let's bring, everybody come back. Everybody come back. Stop being angry. Let's all get along. There's no reason that we have to make this a big conflict. You know, I just wanted to talk about this whole thing and not understanding where the fan base is at, because I don't get it. Yeah. Whew! Maybe it is spicy. Maybe some of you guys were right. Maybe it's a spicy stream today. I don't really know. Okay, that's the first topic. The first topic of the day. And also, I got to send that clip over to my editor, because that's a chunky boy. That was like an 18-minute clip. It's probably Kendall's fault, real talk. I didn't even mean to get that spicy with it. You know? Like, I was just trying to be chill and, like, really understanding and, like, hear you guys out and try to just calmly explain why you're wrong. I don't know what happened. I lost a little bit. I got away from it a little bit there, you know? I apologize, chat, you know? Somehow I think it's your fault. So that's probably true. I can never forgive you. Oh, shit. My bad. Only time I see him in my name in chat is... Wait, what? I don't even understand. I don't even understand what's going on. I feel like I'm missing something. There. Ooh, somebody on Twitch is asking about Sydney Sweeney and the Hot Ones. Did you guys watch that? I hadn't watched it yet. Is it good? Did she finish? I can see the headlines now. Irrational YouTuber attacks his own fan base. I know, right? A little bit I did. A little bit. I was like, you know? Josh, always positive except when he isn't. I know that's right. Win emoji here on Twitch. We'll get some emojis. There's stuff I'm trying to work on here. So everybody just relax. We'll get it sorted. Okay, so now that we have established that I'm right, let's move on to the next thing, okay? Let's move on to the next thing. Let's talk. Okay, we'll talk about this, and then we'll talk about the other outlet confirming this and everything like that. So here we go. Let's get this pulled up. So, Thunderbolts, Century, Scoops, new thing. Daniel RPK and DCU leaks working together. The Dragon Ball Fusion dance, a collab of confirmation. So together, they're talking about how Lewis Pullman now has the current offer for Century and Thunderbolts. This guy's apparently Bob in the new, well, I guess new is a weird way to say it, but in Top Gun Maverick. Top Gun Maverick, right? So when this first came out, a lot of people were like, I don't think that's true. Because, again, Daniel has been getting some stuff wrong lately. And even it was funny. Even last night, I was watching the Hot Mic with Jeff Snyder and John Roca. That's the way you're supposed to say it, and they'll get mad at you if you don't say it the whole way, right? So I was watching that, and even Jeff himself was kind of like digging on Daniel and just kind of being like, yeah, he's been missing a lot lately, which is true. Like, he has been missing a lot. But this scoop here was more or less confirmed that very night. The Hollywood Reporter and Aaron Couch. Is Aaron Couch Daniel? I don't know. Lewis Pullman may be getting a jolt courtesy of Marvel Studios. Top Gun Maverick actor is Marvel's top choice to star in Thunderbolts and has an offer for the role vacated by Steven Yeun earlier this month. Marvel and reps for Pullman did not respond to requests for comment. Yeun was attached to the Thunderbolts in February 2023, though Marvel did not officially announce his casting. But on January 2nd, news broke that the Oscar-nominated actor was departing the project, centering on the Marvel villains and the heroes. It's been hit by delays, etc., etc. Yeah, he was Bob, Lieutenant Robert Bob Floyd in Top Gun Maverick. Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, first thing, I guess, is this a good pick for the Century? Chat, what do you think of that? I mean, I don't know, man. I like him a little bit better than the Euphoria kid. I think he could certainly do it. Isn't he kind of a smaller stature guy as well? I thought I saw that. I feel a sneeze coming on, but it's building like really slowly. Okay, we're good. We got it. Yeah, he's a smaller statured guy, right? Wait, what? Absolutely not? What do you mean? Oh, you mean just you don't like him in the role or what? Yeah, so it seems that they're casting decisions now for Century are like, let's get a white guy that is relatively the same size as Steven so that we don't have to remake the suit. That really does kind of seem like the criteria for this, which is weird. I'm personally of the mind that I would like the actor that played Sentry to be like a big guy. And maybe this guy will be able to put some weight on. And I know they've got like the muscles built into the suit and shit like that. So, that's all fine and dandy. This name, though, and this was something, again, that Jeff Snyder was talking about, this is not a really inspiring name. I don't really think Steven was either. I think Alan Richmond would be. I think Alexander Skarsgård would be. I think there are big names that you could get for this. Just kind of seems like Marvel's not interested in it. Part of me also thinks this could be a budget thing. Like, we've got Sentry at home kind of thing. There was a report yesterday from Casey Walsh talking about how even Deadpool 3 had this new, like, Bob Iger thing where, like, Bob Iger had come in over the top and essentially stopped all the crazy reshoot spending and the remaking. And essentially, Deadpool has locked their visual effects a long time ago. They were working on visual effects that were locked months ago, which was probably part of the reason that they were so confident they could have hit their original date, and they're definitely going to hit that July date as well. And there's a lot of rumors right now that budgetary concerns and Bob Iger kind of tightening up the water hose of money that Marvel has been spraying all over the past couple of years. Is that what's going on here? It's kind of interesting. On the one hand, I'm like, yeah, that's not really an inspiring choice. But you know what? On the other hand, I look at what they're doing with Fantastic Four and mostly Pedro, and I'm trying to be chill about it, right? But Pedro doesn't strike me as Reed at all. And he's a big name, and they went after him for a big name. Well, maybe we don't need that. I mean, back in the day, Marvel really didn't do that. They went after no names. I mean, Hemsworth was basically nobody. Evans was basically nobody. Downey was basically nobody. I mean, he was Downey, but he had rebounded. Nobody wanted to hire that guy. The insurance cost for RDJ was absurd back then because he was a real risk, right? Marvel used to take relatively small profile actors and blow them up via the role. So, it's one of those weird things. There's a little bit of recency bias here where I'm like, oh man, like we've got all this, all these great names, all this stuff, like Harrison Ford is Red Hulk, et cetera, et cetera. And then it seems weird that then they would go into this, but it does kind of line up with the budgetary thing. And to be honest, man, I just want a good Sentry. I really don't care who the Sentry is, as long as the Sentry is awesome. Like, the Sentry needs to be freaking awesome. The guy has to have somewhat range or you maybe have another person play the Void, because Void is crazy, and that's apparently going to crack open at the end of this. There were even people saying, guys, that after the Sentry snaps at the end of Thunderbolts, they're literally going to enter a different realm. That, like, the Void might not just be this crazy powerful entity, but, like, could connect to a different dimension. And you get some, like, crazy Stranger Things going on, where you, like, go into the realm of the Void and shit like that, right? So all that is not really dependent on the actor as much. It does depend on the performance, but it doesn't matter. I don't need a high-profile person to do that. You know what I mean? I see we're fanboy dreaming again. I mean, what do you think we do here? What would you say we do here? Yeah, we sell fanboy dreams. I package them up real nice. I'm always really polite to the audience. I'm always very respectful. You guys are always right. I'm always wrong. So, yeah, we be fanboy dreaming for sure. So, I don't know. This story's weird. Good for Daniel because he has this scoop confirmed. I think that's great for him. And I don't mind this guy. Guess we'll just see. I don't know. What are your thoughts, chat? What do you think? What do you think, guys? Oh, hey, by the way, everybody, it looks like, yes, Josh was right, just edged out no in the poll. So we're going to go ahead and call the end of that poll. You know what I'm saying? So now it's now just so you know, if you're keeping score, not only was I right when I said I was right, but now the poll has confirmed that I'm right again. Just so you know. Just trying to explain it so that we're all on the same page. My page! I am the law. Right now, Josh is basically the last Jedi as a person. Holy shit. I don't know if I've ever been insulted like that before. God damn. That was a good one. I need to go home and rethink my life. You know? So, thanks for that one, I guess. Okay, we got one more story that we need to talk about today. And then I want to watch some videos, and then we'll get into some Q and A. Josh yelled that out like Bill Bayo when he tries this. Wait, what? Bro, what? The fuck, bro? I literally don't know what you just said. I don't know what you just said, man. Okay. This one I have in my bookmarks. So hold up. Hold up. Wait a minute. Okay, here we go. Oh, man. So, ladies and gentlemen, there has been a lot of rumors, a lot of reports, a lot of excitement around Daredevil Born Again. And the show's back to shooting. And some people noticed something that is causing them to freak out. And, man, I don't know. Part of me feels really excited about this. Part of me feels like we are being set up. Part of me feels like Kevin Feige is sitting back and he is about to jam an even bigger Ralph Boner right down our throats. This is why. This is what I'm talking about. Check this out, okay? So these are set photographs from Daredevil Born Again, okay? And you can see in here the Kingpin on fire. Muse signed it. Very interesting, okay? This is, you know, the stuff they have put up in New York because they're going to be filming there. By the way, randomly, I was in New York when they were filming for Daredevil Season 1. And I actually got to see a little bit of them actually filming Season 1 in Hell's Kitchen. It was pretty crazy. So this is really the shot here that's making people lose their minds. Nelson, Murdoch, and Paige, attorneys at law. Okay? So we've been talking about this. The plaque, bro. They got the freaking plaque. Nelson, Murdoch, and Paige. You can even see it in this image. Wait, no, you can't, actually. That's a different sign. This is Karen something or other. But they're back. Okay? And the reaction from fans has been incredible. You've got a lot of Marvel fans freaking out. A lot of fans really excited. The posts that are retweeting this are hitting huge numbers. People are so excited that Nelson, Murdoch, and Paige are back. However, we know they're shooting a new pilot, and we know they're keeping a lot of the older version of the show. And so the question here is, and the concern, and you can kind of see where this is going now, is this all just for the new pilot? And are they still going to end this and still essentially either kill Foggy or, you know, fridge Foggy or do something weird like that? And it's just crazy because you're seeing the fans really unite about this. They're all really excited. And it also just kind of feels like, man, I really hope this isn't just a big setup. I really hope this isn't just a big old Ralph Boner waiting in the wings. And I cannot imagine the reaction. Like, dude, again, like we were talking about it earlier. Seems like about half of you are so grumpy that you can't even accept that Tobey and Andrew would be awesome to bring back in Spider-Man 4. So, like, that's where we're at as a fan base. So, I cannot imagine the reaction that will happen if they are still going through with this. And I just gotta say, like, I'm trying, dude. Like, we're you know, doing prayer circles, drum circles, Venn diagram circles, you know, all kinds of prayers, meditations, manifestations, vision board sequences. Every power within our being is just trying to make it so that they're actually back, that they're not going to just get fridged, and that we're returning to form with this show. But I'm nervous, bro. I'm nervous about this. And, dude, you look out on social media and you just don't see a lot of concern for that. People are just like living in the glory, like basking in the sun of seeing this sign and being excited for it, and yet not necessarily being able to recognize that this could be a rug that's just going to get pulled out from under us. And I don't know. Like, I'm really excited. Like, there's a lot of really cool stuff happening in the Daredevil show. I'm just also kind of trying to make sense of it, and I'm like, I don't know what this means exactly. I want to be excited. I want to believe. But I'm nervous, chat. You know what I mean? I'm nervous. So I wonder what you guys think about this. What do you make of this? Should I feel good about this? Should I be concerned? Help me. Help me, chat. Am I a bad Marvel fan for never having watched Daredevil? No, but you should watch it. It's great. Prepare for the worst and hope for the best. Isn't that like a version of what Zendaya says? If you always expect disappointment, you'll never be disappointed, or something like that. Why, Josh? Why couldn't you just let us have this? Yeah, I'm sorry. I wish I could. I trust me, I want to just have it. You know? But I still don't know if I trust him. You know what I mean? I still don't know if I trust him. I don't know. Zendaya copied us? Oh, totally. Of course. That's obviously what happened. How could I forget? Coke machines broke in the tower. Yo, speaking of Coke machines, we watched Doctor Strangelove last night. I'm on this old black and white movie kick right now. A little bit of a Peter Sellers kick, too. So we watched Doctor Strangelove, and that part at the end where the guy won't shoot the Coca-Cola machine because it's private property. It was just so funny. I love that movie. It's very like high-level parody, high-level satire. Crazy stuff. No fighting in the war room. Gentlemen, I've never seen such behavior in the war room. They'll see the big board. Terrible nihilistic philosophy from Zendaya. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, but that's kind of her character. You know what I mean? That's kind of that character. It's kind of interesting. So, guys, I think that's all the news. I think that's all the bits, the tidbits. We can get into Q&A here. It's from Alphaville. What does that mean? Did y'all see the Dune popcorn buckets? Those are something. Those are absolutely something. Did you guys see those popcorn buckets? I don't know how I'd feel about that. I would never describe Zendaya's MJ as interesting, LMAO. Oh, okay, I would. We love you, Josh. Thank you for being so consistent. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate you, man. Can we watch the Monkey Man trailer? What the hell is the Monkey Man trailer? What are you talking about? What is that? What's a Monkey Man trailer? What is the Monkey Man trailer, dude? Hey, Monkey Man. Okay. So what is this? What's the studio? Because I don't want to get copy struck. What is this? Some guy fighting or something? Monkey Man. It looks kind of cool. Is this like Thailand or something? It reminds me of Un Bak a little bit. Produced by Jordan Peele. Oh, that's cool. I like Jordan Peele. Should we watch it? Should we risk it, chat? It's Universal. Exactly what it sounds like. LMAO. Bro. Maybe you're right, but I also feel like it's appropriate to be like, what does that mean? You know what I mean? I don't know if you know. Are you going to go over the Warhammer 40,000 news? I talked about it briefly at the beginning of the stream. I don't want to do spoilers. I'm going to make a video about it. Video will probably drop Monday, though, unfortunately. But, yeah, I'm going to work on a big video about it. Un Bak is a deep cut. Hell yeah, dude. Tony Jaa. Tony Jaa was a real one. Didn't they put him in one of the Expendable movies, too? Julia Stiles said something similar. 10 things I hate about you in the late 90s. Interesting stuff. Thank you for that. Yep, it's the most stereotypical angst teenage girl philosophy. Yes, well, you know. Back when I was a teenage girl, I don't know. I feel like I had a better head on my shoulders, but, you know. Okay, let's check this out. Let's watch the Monkey Man trailer. Fuck it, man. Maybe it'll destroy the stream, and then I can go play Power World or something. All right, ready? Let's check this out. Monkey Man, what you got? I like the music.
Close your eyes.
We got the echo. Yeah, we're going to watch the other stuff too. After this trailer, I'm shutting down gambling too.
My mother used to tell me a story.
About a monkey man?
Of a demon king and his army. They brought fire.
Is that the guy from RRR?
Until they faced the protector of the people.
What the hell?
The white monkey.
There you are. You are a beast.
The fuck?
In this city, the rich don't see us as people. Give me the job no one wants to do. I'll do it.
Anyone who forgets their place, it doesn't turn out well for them.
Dev Patel directed it?
This is not the place to work.
Interesting.
If you can't handle that sort of stuff.
Every day, I've prayed for a way to protect the weak.
I've got an answer to every prayer. I call her Nikki. Minaj, big bumper, nice headlights. Let's boogie.
Oh! Okay, it looks cool. Where's the monkey man?
We need to fight for your mother, for all of us.
I don't see the monkey man.
Anger will not quiet your soul, my son.
Don't call me son.
Oh, that was cool.
It's time to remember who you are.
But only love kills more when will they learn?
Where's the Monkey Man?
Just one small ember can burn down everything.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for a fucking fight?
Language. Damn, that was cool.
Yeah.
That looked cool. That looked cool, but I'm a little disappointed that there's not an actual Monkey Man. You know, like he's just got a mask on. And I wanted like a Monkey Man. So, yeah, I don't know, chat. That just... Did we just get Ralph Bonered by Monkey Man? For fuck's sake, Josh. Look, I'm just saying. Look, I thought it was going to be a Monkey Man. Call it like Monkey Man Mask instead. You know? That sounds like, by the way, that sounds like something an actual Hollywood executive would say. Like watching this and be like, well, what if we called it Monkey Man Mask? You know, MMM. You know, kind of rolls off the tongue. Little Monkey Man Mask. That's a good one. Was that the guy from RRR? Because that's actually dope. I remember somebody first brought up RRR, and I was like, I don't know about that shit. And then I watched it, and I was like, damn, dude, RRR is lit. That was crazy. The after credit scene will reveal his heritage. Oh, shit. Is that true? Okay. Sounds cool. That sounds cool. Okay, I want to react to a couple of videos, and then we'll get into Q&A, okay? Josh, you got to see the monkey mask for like 2 seconds. Yeah. And I need more. I need more. Okay, let's do the pitch meeting first.
So, you got some new content for me? Yes, sir, I do. The people demand their Marvel content. Yeah, they do. Well, less and less. Oh, well, I wrote some stuff anyway. Yeah, that's totally fine. So I'm thinking we do a show about Maya Lopez. Oh, interesting. And tell me something. Who is that? We introduced 736
great
characters last year. She was in the Hawkeye show, a little. Also goes by Echo. You know, I think that does sound kind of familiar, and that works for me. Let's give her her own show. Amazing. So a good chunk of the first episode is going to be kind of like an extended previously on segment to get people up to speed. Really, a good chunk. Yeah, well, people are always complaining that it's hard to keep up with all the Marvel
you guys are still
stuff,
gambling?
so if a good chunk of the first episode is kind of previously on, that'll shut people up. I feel like there might be a nice middle ground. No, and during that whole backstory bit, I figured that's a good opportunity to have Daredevil come in. He's from She-Hulk. You know it, sir. They're going to have this big old fight scene, and sometimes it's going to look like they're hitting each other. Man, it's really going to help with marketing to have Daredevil in this show. We're going to lean into that heavily. Well, he's literally just in that one scene. I don't care. I don't care. Well, okay then. So what actually happens in the show? Well, like
I
5
don't
months
care.
after
I
shooting
don't
Kingpin
care.
in the face at the end of Hawkeye, Maya's on the run and heads back to her hometown in Oklahoma. And what does she want to do there? Take over from Kingpin and become the Queen Pin. From Oklahoma? Yes, and so since she's being followed by bad guys, she's putting her whole family at risk. Oh, man, what's she going to do to protect them? Nothing. She doesn't seem to care about that. Oh, and she's also going to provoke the bad guys by planting some explosives on their cargo heading to New York. Couldn't that potentially explode anywhere and hurt a lot of innocent people? Yeah, she's a badass. Kind of messed up. Well, she's an anti-hero, so it's badass. Oh, okay. So anyway, at a certain point, her and 2 of her family members are going to get kidnapped by bad guys at the roller skating rink her uncle works at. Uh-oh. And Maya's prosthetic leg is going to come off and be taken by one of the captors. Yikes, how's she going to get that back? They're going to drop it next to her and leave her with it. Oh, well, that worked out immediately. Yeah, and it has a little knife in it, so she cuts herself loose. A very handy foot. And then she builds a functional gun complete with laser sight out of some scraps, which is a skill that she has. Oh, it is?
Yeah,
that's
that
a
is
skill
pretty
that she
crazy.
has. It says so right here. Well, great. So then she's gonna kill a bunch of bad guys, but the final bad guys get a phone call and leave. Well, getting a phone call is pretty scary. Just text me. Well, this phone call is especially scary because we're gonna find out that the Kingpin is still alive. What? How did he survive getting shot directly in the face? By not dying. Oh, this guy's good. So he shows up
He's
and tells
good.
Maya, like, hey, I'm okay with you having shot me in the face, and I want you to come to New York, and I'll give you my empire. Oh, well, that's what she wants, right? Yeah,
Right,
but not
exactly.
like this, because she's mad at Kingpin. He had her father killed. Oh, right. So she doesn't accept the offer.
So real quick here, this is what I would have done. I would have had her go with Kingpin. She kind of takes over the crime stuff because he's becoming legitimate because he wants to be mayor. They do all kinds of other weird stuff to get there, but that's what I would have done. That's so much more compelling than forcing the weird ending that they did.
Nope, and so Kingpin gets so mad that he's going to attack this big event in town. What's the event? A powwow. Wow. So he's got a bunch of bad guys
Wow.
there, and there's a guy with a rocket launcher. He's very scary. He's just gonna blow up a powwow? Yeah, blow up a powwow with the rocket. That seems to be what I've written here. And also he kidnaps Maya's cousin and grandma. Uh-oh. But the whole family's gonna fight back. Oh, they are? Yeah, even her comic relief cousin, Biscuits. His name is Biscuits? Oh, that is funny. What's he gonna do? Well, he crushes like 12 men with a monster truck. Oh my God. And Maya's gotta go up against the Kingpin. Well, that's gonna be impossible. The guy's massive. Actually, it's gonna be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah, cause see, she has powers now, so she uses those and shares them with her cousin and grandma. What are the powers? Glowy ones that do whatever I want. Nice, and so she kicks Fisk's butt? No, she's gonna touch him with her glowy mind powers and make him confront his own childhood trauma. Oh. Yeah, so he cries and
Right?
runs away. Weaponized therapy is tight. And then we're gonna end this whole thing with a nice family barbecue and everybody's happy. So like a play on the Fast and Furious thing? No, just literally doing it. Oh, okay. So what do you think? Hey, we've got Daredevil and Kingpin to focus the marketing around. I say we make this TVMA sprinkle a little blood just for publicity's sake. That should lure people into clicking.
Yes,
Do you
it did.
think it's bad that we have to lure people now? It might not be.
It might not be. Oh no!
Hi, everybody. Ryan George here. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah, Echo, man, what a weird show. You know, look, it works for me through a lot of the episodes, and then completely falls apart in the finale. Like, oh my God, that finale was horrible. But yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in Echo. I kind of get why they kept it. But yeah, bro, definitely not going to be winning all the MCU fans back with Echo. I think it was just for me, I was like, okay, yeah, they can still do some cool stuff. I wonder how this will affect Daredevil and everything like that. So this is kind of like a beta test for some of the changes and things that they have coming in Daredevil. But just like Secret Invasion, it's a show that works better if you pretend it doesn't exist, which is a rough spot. Like that is a rough spot for them to be on. But here we go.
Don't
Check
mean
this
this,
out.
dear viewer. When you're a movie studio that's flush with cash but short on imagination and creativity, and you want to keep exploiting an old franchise with a proven track record, but you've written yourself into a corner with poor storytelling decisions and left your franchise feeling stale and played out, or you've killed off characters that you wish you hadn't, or maybe
Yeah,
the
you
actors
shouldn't have
are
done
getting
that.
too old and too expensive, what would you do? If your answer is to hire talented writers to dig you out of the hole that you've made for yourself in a way that's logically consistent and emotionally satisfying, or create new and interesting characters to replace the ones that are aging out,
Yeah.
or even take a chance on a whole new IP that might be risky at first
That
but
sounds
offers up
good.
greater creative freedom and rewards in the long term, then clearly you're not thinking like a modern Hollywood executive. No, instead what you do is fall back on one of the laziest and contrived storytelling tropes since the rise of the unstoppable, infallible girl boss. I'm talking, of course, about multiverses.
Okay, so I have just like so many issues. This is going to be fun. Usually I actually really agree with the drinker. I think in this one I just absolutely disagree. I mean, literally a lot of the stuff that he just mentioned is stuff that they're doing. He's talking about taking a chance on a new franchise that might not work out right away. I mean, see Eternals, and Chloe Zhao is absolutely fantastic. Bringing in really, really talented writers. I mean, Michael Waldron on Loki season 1. Man, I'm blanking on the guy that wrote in season 2. You have incredible writers there that actually are literally heralding huge, impactful things moving towards the multiverse saga and its conclusion in Secret Wars. I mean, now Waldron, and I know some of you guys are like, Waldron. Waldron is great. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't know how else to say it. He's great. Super talented guy, and I'm very glad that he's helming the next 2 Avengers movies. Also, this big supercut that he does here, like, a lot of those projects didn't involve the multiverse. So he's like saying, you know, go to the laziest trope, the thing, and literally, like, I would say 20% of the movies of the past 3 years have even done that. So let's keep going, though. See what he says.
If ever you needed an example of something that sounds good on paper but becomes a complete disaster the more it's actually used, then multiverses are the thing for you. And that's not to say that it's an objectively bad idea by itself. In fact, what I hope to show with this video is that when it's properly implemented, it can actually be a very effective storytelling.
Yeah, you know what? I'm glad that he goes right to this movie as well, because I kind of forget about this, but that was also one of the biggest movies of that year, and I think that was, what, 2022? Maybe 2023. So again, like, you're talking about massive movies, huge projects that have involved the multiverse. You know what I mean? So that's kind of interesting. We'll keep
One
going.
device. No, the problems creep in when it's put into the hands of lazy hack writers who either can't or won't work within the rules of the established universe, or lack the imagination to move the story forward, and instead devolve into the cinematic equivalent of a hyperactive toddler banging different toys together. Now, I say multiverses because, let's be honest, it's a pretty good catch-all term for what's actually a much broader and more diverse problem in the industry, and in reality, it covers pretty much everything from alternate realities to branching timelines and lazy half-explained retcons of past events.
Okay.
Each method is slightly different, but it all adds up to the same basic problem, and that's what I'm keen to tackle here today. So
it's not even about multiverses. Okay.
up as we embark on another adventure into why modern movies suck. First up, let us try to understand the reason for using multiverses in a story, because there has to be some kind of motivation for doing them, right? Well, if I had to sum it up with 2 simple words, then they would probably be, what if? See, one of the great aspects of storytelling is speculating on the road not taken and what effect it might have had on your favourite story and characters. Like, what if Darth Vader offered Luke the chance to join him in Empire and Luke said,
You son of a bitch!
This is interesting. I wonder if he'll bring up Mark Millar's Red Sun. You know, maybe one of the best Elseworlds ever written. And the way that story... Because I think he's also Scottish, right? They're both from Scotland. Because that's not the motivation for telling Red Sun. You know what I mean? And why the what if idea, if implemented correctly with the right vision from a storyteller, is phenomenal. You know?
I'm in!
or what if Saruman managed to steal the One Ring for himself? Or Obi-Wan Kenobi died instead of Qui-Gon Jinn? Or Khan defeated Kirk and went on to build a new civilization for himself? Or General Bison was finally able to build Bisonopolis with an even bigger food courts? All of these things are pretty interesting to speculate on because they allow us to indulge our own imagination and creativity to think about what we might have done if we were in charge of telling the story. Hollywood studios understand that same desire, and just like anything else where there's a latent demand for something, sooner or later they'll find a way to exploit it for money. And really, multiverses are the quickest and easiest way of doing it. Wish that Tony Stark had survived his final battle with Thanos? Don't worry, we can just hop into a different dimension and there he is, alive and well. Wish that Finn had become the last Jedi instead of Rey? Well, it happened an infinite number of times in other realities, and all it takes is a jump into a space whale or a bit of dicking around in the world between worlds to see it happen. Wish that Kyle Reese was
They literally didn't do that in the world between worlds, though. They were actually going to do that, and then they decided not to. And I actually think that this is why they are not doing Star Wars What If. A couple of weeks ago, Daniel had reported that they were going to do Star Wars What If. That's not true. And a lot of people have come forward to confirm that that is not true. And I think that might have been one of the reasons. I think certain franchises sort of lend themselves better to what if, alternate realities, multiversal shenanigans, and some don't. You know, but it's like weird because all the moments in Ahsoka were actual moments. So again, that's not even multiversal. Like none of that happened.
Still alive after Terminator 1? Nothing a bit of time travel can't fix. Pretty much anything is possible because you're no longer bound by the rules of the existing universe or even what happened in it up until that point. It's literally a dream come true for any writer brought into a long-running franchise with a ton of lore and backstory and tedious rules to remember, because it allows them to basically ignore all of it and do whatever the fuck they feel like.
That's not true at all. The best Elseworlds, the best what ifs use what is established to the reader and uses those as anchor points to do interesting things. That is actually not at all how that shit works.
Yeah, so Darth Vader can shoot bolts of force lightning out of his arse now, and I don't care that he's dead and that's impossible because this is a different reality, you see? Hurry up and bring me another line.
That's never happened and will never happen.
Yeah, that's the shit. The avenues for exploring new paths and possibilities are quite literally unlimited, but so are the problems that they create, and this is the heart of the issue here. See, the only reason we as the audience ever get invested in a story, any story really, is because of stakes. If a character gets killed halfway through the story, then just like in real life, they're gone forever. It doesn't matter.
That's not true. That's just not true. It's actually not stakes. You know what pushes every story forward is the audience thinking that they're smart for seeing how it's going to play out. If it was just about stakes, like there are a lot of what I would consider to be very flat stories, very soulless stories, very bad books, very bad movies, very bad comics that have a lot of stakes. But stake alone is not what pushes story forward. You guys should really watch. Brandon Sanderson has multiple like 2-hour long just incredible video essays and where he's teaching classes about pushing story forward. What makes a good story? Every single good story has foreshadowing and subtext that really makes the person either reading it or following along feel smart because they can kind of anticipate and know how things are going to move. And you don't even need stakes to make that happen. You know what I mean? So, yeah, dude, I just completely disagree with that take.
How much you like them or how badly you want them to pull through, they're dead and they're not coming back. If they're a well-written character that the audience...
Gandalf. It flies right in the face of that.
Sympathizes with, then it creates a genuine sense of loss and grief, almost like you've lost a real friend. That right there is the power of storytelling when it's done right. And the more the writers raise the possibility that even the most popular characters can die and be lost forever, the more they raise those all-important dramatic stakes because something that you care about is now in danger. But what happens when you introduce multiverses into the equation? Well, quite simply, you remove any sense of stakes. Suddenly death becomes less of a permanent tragic loss and more of a temporary inconvenience, a bit like restarting a level on a video game. Who cares that Character X heroically sacrificed their life to save their friends, because in an infinite number of other realities he's completely fine. Shit man, if we really want to, we can even grab one of those other versions and pull them into our own reality as a convenient replacement. I mean, we wouldn't want the audience to feel bad or anything, which really is the narrative equivalent of having your cake and eating it. On a personal level, individual stakes no longer exist because characters no longer exist as single unique entities that actually matter. Instead, each one is just an insignificant variation of an infinitely larger whole with endless variety and complexity that can never truly die or succeed at anything. And so
yeah, I just completely disagree. Like, there have been so many great stories where characters come back, like Gandalf, but I also think if you just look at the history of comics, like, there was actually a moment where they tried this. I think it was Jim Starlin, and it was after like a big cosmic Thanos event, and they made it so every death in that comic book universe would be permanent, and it failed miserably. And the evidence that that's not even something fans want is the evidence that comic books have thrived and survived for like 75 plus years. And they almost always thrive on this cycle of characters dying and being brought back. So Yeah, no, it's just,
There's
you know.
literally no reason to get invested in their struggle.
It's just not
there's
true.
Infinite variations of it out there. It's the same problem when it comes to time travel, which is another bullshit method of undoing past events and rewriting your own story to suit your current needs. Like, how many times has the Terminator franchise been ripped up, rebuilt, and rewritten, constantly changing and contradicting its own rules in the process? Everything we saw in the future was predetermined, and trying to change it actually causes it to happen in the first place. Actually, no, forget that. We just changed the future to make it better now. Nah, actually, the future was always going to happen this way. You only managed to delay it. We sort of agree with that idea, but here's a bunch of additional tacked on shit that you never wanted or needed. Nope, in fact, now we've gone back and messed with the past as well because we're fucking idiots. Wait, hold my beer. Ignore what everyone else said because we've got an even worse storyline in to replace it. At a certain point, it becomes a complete waste of time to care about anything that happens in those movies because the next one's probably just going to undo everything you just saw. The T-800 sacrificing himself for the good of humanity was an awesome scene in Terminator 2, but now that I've seen it happen like 3 times in 3 different movies, it's not quite so special anymore.
That's
now,
fair.
Believe it or not, Hollywood writers actually understand this problem that multiverses and branching timelines create for the audience. Unfortunately, their solution is almost as bad as the problem it's trying to solve because it involves ratcheting up the stakes to literally astronomical levels. Now it's not just a group of likable characters you care about that are in danger, or even the entire human race. It's literally the entirety of all existence across the multiverse. Wow, that's really big. And big equals good, right?
Wrong.
Because here's the thing, the human mind isn't really designed to comprehend the world in terms of infinite possible realities across infinite universes, especially not on the kind of visceral emotional level that you need to sustain dramatic tension.
Yes,
Instead,
that's true.
It becomes nothing but an intellectual exercise, as dry and disengaging as a stock market summary. You understand the words that are being said and what's being risked on an intellectual level, but you don't really feel the magnitude of it, because how can
Feeling
you?
is key,
How can
for
you
sure.
even begin to comprehend something so impossibly vast? This problem also gives rise to a phenomenon that I can best describe as antagonist dilution. Like, remember Agent Smith from The Matrix? Remember how he was this really
So it's
sinister-
funny because he's actually making some good points here, but they're not connected to the multiverse. These are just simple writing mistakes. They don't always happen when you go into the multiverse, and they can happen even if you stay in a multiverse with stakes. You know what I mean? So it's just like
intimidating antagonist because he was intelligent and ruthless and physically powerful and basically unkillable, and it took Neo literally dying to discover the power needed to defeat him. He was a pretty good villain. I liked him. Then cast your mind forward to The Matrix Reloaded, where Smith was able to replicate himself to the point where Neo ends up fighting dozens, if not hundreds of him all at the same time. Remember how much less intimidating and interesting he became? Because individually,
What does
he
this
was
have
no
to do with the
threat at
multiverse?
all, and his only strength lay in his sheer weight of numbers. That right there is antagonist dilution.
Okay.
Just like with the multiple realities problem, our primitive monkey brains are conditioned to view characters as individuals, not as facets of a much larger whole. Antagonists are much more effective and memorable when they're conglomerated into a single powerful entity rather than a collection of weaker individuals. It's one of the many reasons that Kang the Conqueror was a fucking terrible idea as a villain, notwithstanding Jonathan Major's ridiculous overacting and career-ending legal problems. It's that we can't really view antagonists as a threat when you show them getting beaten again and again by low-level characters
Again,
and try to
fair,
wave it all away
but
by
has
saying, well,
nothing
that's
to do
just
with the
one
multiverse.
example of him. There's millions of other, more dangerous versions out there, don't you know? No, we don't, and we don't care how dangerous he is as a collective whole, because that's not how we view people, and we never will. Now, much as I've shat on the concept of multiverses, I also want to make it clear that the real problem lies in the implementation,
Of
the
course.
overuse and the lazy short-sighted focus on novelty over meaningful storytelling, rather than it just being a fundamentally bad idea in the first place. Plenty of movies and shows have made effective use of alternate realities, like the TNG episode Tapestry, where a dying Picard laments the reckless youth that ultimately landed him in this position in the first place, and is
Bring
given
up
a
Red
chance to see
Sun.
what his life would have been like if he'd lived more sensibly and cautiously. Yeah, he ends up surviving, but the problem is that he becomes a boring arsehole who never amounts to much of anything, to the point where the real Picard decides he'd rather die as the man he is now than live on as the one he just saw. It's a potent reminder.
You know what's so funny is, like, I don't know if he would agree with this, but that is the same thing that is happening in Multiverse of Madness with Steven. So via the other versions of Steven, we kind of see and we're able to kind of anchor our Steven against the poor choices and the weird things that happen with the other Stevens. It's like the very same thing. It's like using alternate versions as a mirror to show how the character is different. You know what I mean?
Of the importance of taking risks, seizing opportunities, and making the most of what life has to offer, and it's all contained within a single episode. Another example comes from Red Dwarf, a British sci-fi comedy series about a group of weirdos and slackers stranded millions of years from home. In the episode Dimension Jump, a new version of Arnold Rimmer arrives in our reality from a different universe, better known in this case as Ace Rimmer. Unlike our version, this one's charismatic, charming, and heroic. Everyone else is smitten with him except Rimmer himself, who takes an instant dislike to him because he assumes the guy must have had all the opportunities and lucky breaks that he never got. He's a living example of what Rimmer could have been if he'd had a better lot in life.
Exactly. That's exactly what they do with Steven in Multiverse of Madness. It's literally the same tool was used.
Complex that pretty much defines his character throughout the show. But in a neat little twist, we ultimately find out that Ace was kept back a year at school when he was still a kid, while our Rimmer was allowed to go on and graduate as normal. Instead of breaking him, the humiliation of his failure forced Ace to work harder and better himself, ultimately becoming a much stronger and more capable man as a result, whereas our Rimmer became complacent and blamed everyone else for his failures in life. It's an interesting little character study and an excellent example of how failure can be the making of a person or the breaking of them. It all just depends on how you deal with it. I could go on and on with this stuff, but the point I'm making here is that multiverses can be a useful tool in giving characters and the audience a different perspective on things they normally take for granted.
I agree.
But they function best when they're used sparingly. Neither of the examples I gave here had
they function best when they're well conceived and well written. It literally has nothing to do with how sparing or how intense the use of the multiverse is. That is not the determining factor on if it's well conceived, well thought out, and well written.
Consequences for the wider show they were part of. They didn't try to frame themselves as epic confrontations where the fate of all reality hung in the balance. They were just little windows into other possible futures that eventually snapped shut once they'd served their purpose. And in both cases, they were used to support excellent writing rather than compensate for its absence. That right there is the big difference between them, and it's one that Hollywood writers would do well to remember. Anyway, that's all I've got for today.
Hey, look, not a bad video. I disagree with it. I'll be honest with you, I don't even think he agrees with it. I just think he knows that that's a popular video to make, and he can complain about bad writing in the same way that he has for years, with kind of different packaging on it. That's my honest take on that, but not a bad video. I'm still a fan. I still like the drinker. But, yeah, there's, like, not really a lot of substance in that take, if I'm being honest. It's flat. With no stakes. But, yeah. That's good. Appreciate the reaction there. He has nostalgia bias? Maybe. I mean, there's nothing wrong with necessarily having nostalgia. Again, I don't even think he believes that. Like, he kind of says at the beginning of the video and at the end of the video, it's actually not the multiverse, it's how the multiverse is used, aka, like, the writing. And that I agree with. You know what I mean? 100%. All right. Let's get into the Q&A, man. Let's get into the Q&A. Let's talk about what you guys were bringing up in the chat. And then we'll get on out of here. And we'll call it a day. Mr. J. Westman says, let's go. Coffee in a stream. Have a good one, chat. Thanks, brother. Steve Storenko says, happy Friday. Yeah. Appreciate you, bro. Rosie says, will you go back and edit chapter 1 with the suggestions? No, not really. Vince Barter says, Magneto versus Sidious in an Iron Dome. Is the Iron Dome supposed to, like, give Magneto an edge? Is that what? I don't understand. I guess that would give Magneto a big advantage, right? Kenzie Martin with the 10 spot. appreciate you, man. That's very generous. Says, Josh, how many Horus Heresy novels have you read? Fulgrim is my favorite so far, and it's fully grim. I've only read a couple of them, and I've read them out of order. There were certain ones that I want, like I read The End of the Death Part 2. And then I forget the other one that I read, but it was out of order too. I was looking for specific things. But yeah, Fulgrim's crazy. I mean, Fulgrim's a really interesting character. I obviously love Sanguinius. I love Rogel Dorn. I love Constantine Valdor, the Wolf King. I really like Abaddon. I think Abaddon is very well written throughout The End of the Death. And dude, yeah, there's just like this crazy part. I remember this part where they're going over the like a hologram layout of the battle, and it's one of the Emperor's Children, I think. And he's like explaining the battle, and then he's like, he basically says to Abaddon, or no, he says to Horus, I don't know the names of these Neverborn, which are the demons. And there's this crazy moment where Horus comes over to the table and he starts like naming all of the demons in their like in these names, and you're just, I don't know, there was something about that scene because a lot of the people that joined Horus were not even worshiping chaos. They just thought the Emperor was a bad guy. So they just wanted Horus to defeat the Emperor. They weren't even like into that demon shit. So they're like at this battle, and like he's like, there's like this awkwardness of them like explaining it, and then Horus comes in and he's like, so here's this one, this one, this one. He starts naming all these demons, and you're just like, holy shit. It's crazy. Great stories though. Rhett Proctor says with the 10, I'm just saying all three Spider-Man, Toby, Andrew, Tom, teaming up with Daredevil to take down Kingpin would be freaking awesome. I mean, it's not impossible. It's comics, man. Hell yeah, bruh. Hell yeah. Let them know. Mr. J. Westman says, new year, new beard. It's the same beard. Rhett Proctor says, I wish Andrew Garfield would have been Spider-Man in the MCU. The way Sony did him was so damn dirty and shameful. Need to see him in more Spider-Man movies. Yeah, dude. So I have this theory, and it's just a theory for now, right? But my theory is that Tom will have to sacrifice himself at the end of Secret Wars to help save the multiverse. And that Andrew will be the Peter Parker in the soft rebooted MCU. Whew! Which would be really cool. But we'll see. Mitch Salas, welcome to the Nerd Avengers. Grupple, welcome back. Vinny Diaz says, I want to see Tom do his own thing for once. I understand. Sorry I got all upset earlier. But yeah, I understand. Kendall says, Coco War was grounded but set up Infinity War and Endgame. Coco War? The fuck? Talking about Captain America Civil War? Yeah, no, I think I know what you're saying. I'm not really sure. David says, if they can make an animated Kingpin / multiverse movie, they can make a live one. Yeah, that's true. Kingpin was great in the Across the Spider-Verse movie. Or I guess that was Into the Spider-Verse, but still. Hunter says, can you pitch a story for Spider-Man 4 with all three? I think a story with New York City Civil War versus Kingpin sounds way better. Yeah, so I would do the Civil War thing, right? I would do the Civil War thing, and then I'd have Toby and Andrew pop back up in like maybe the beginning or the middle of Act 2. And I'd have them explain to Tom that something's really wrong. And even for Kingpin to be doing what he's doing seems not just nefarious, but potentially connected to like multiversal powers or something like that. And then maybe you have the multiversal Sinister Six, come in and they're like working for Kingpin as well. Yeah, something like that would basically be the way that I would do it. And I still think you'll have Daredevil, and you'll still have a lot of like grounded street level people. But then it would kind of build to basically Kingpin would be either being used, maybe like Mephisto's using him, maybe it's Kang, maybe it's Doctor Doom or something like that. But you kind of just connect it up the ladder. That's how I would do it. RG2088 says, will Kingpin and Daredevil be in Spider-Man 4? Or will we get Andrew, Toby, They cut Kingpin and Daredevil? No, it's both. It's both. I agree the multiverse is the best parts. I want Kingpin to interact with Spider-Man. Yeah, me too, bro. Me too. Jensen Baker says with a 10, you're focusing on the wrong thing. We don't hate seeing them back. We hate it being abused. Tom Peter needs his own story. He's just now stepping out of the shadows. Yeah, so again, I don't understand the evidence for it being abused. I don't understand why you would even assume that's the way it would work. Like, what's the evidence for them abusing it? I don't understand. It's all felt really meaningful and good to me. Benjamin says, have a protein shake on me with a 10 spot. Oh, hell yeah. Appreciate that, man. Vashtian Creed says, my concern is that I don't want them to take something that was amazing, No Way Home, and taint it with a potential subpar similar movie. I think that's fair, but I, again, don't really see the evidence for, like, why that would happen. You know, it's like saying, like, you could basically just say, like, I think, that's like saying, just end it now. Because all the good things that we had before, we don't want them tarnished. So just end it all. You know, like, I just don't understand that. It feels like there's something missing. And I'm not sure what it is exactly. Sony doesn't care about Tom being a good character. They want money from nostalgic consumers. It doesn't matter if Toby and Andrew say what they want Tom to develop right now. Bring them in later. Again, what is the evidence of that? Sony doesn't care about Tom being a good character. What's the evidence of that? The fact that they're fucking up all these other movies? Like, Sony also made Into the Spider-Verse. Sony also made Across the Spider-Verse. Sony also made No Way Home, Far From Home, and Homecoming. Sony also made Spider-Man 1 and 2 for Andrew. They made Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3 for Toby. Right? So, especially because it's not just Sony, like, I don't understand why you're like, because, like, look, this is what you're saying, Jensen. This is literally what you're saying. Sony doesn't want Tom to be a good character, therefore, they will screw it up. Working with Marvel, they'll find a way to screw it up because they want money. And also, it doesn't matter what Toby and Andrew say, because they have no power or something, and we want Tom to be developed right now, therefore we can't have that because we need him alone to be developed properly. Like, literally, not a single leg of your argument makes any sense. Like, your argument would be better and more sound if you were just like, I don't trust Sony. I think it was lightning in a bottle when they did it with the other one, and I just don't trust Sony. That at least I would understand. Michael says, this is when I wish Marvel had the rights. I would love to see a street-level Spidey in other project stuff like Daredevil, Disney Plus, and then do his own movie through the multiverse, or have an animated show in the Sacred Timeline. Yeah. Like, it would be fantastic if Spider-Man was fully with Marvel, because Spider-Man could have popped up in, well, any project. You know, they have to be very selective with how they use Spider-Man because they only have so many things that they can do with Sony. That's not their character. They don't own that, right? So, yeah, no, I think that makes sense, dude. Like, I would have loved to see Spider-Man pop up in some of these other movies. It would have been great. And that's like the OG flavor of Marvel. Like, Marvel kind of cut their teeth on that idea that it was all a shared universe, that you could just go... Like, in a Doctor Strange comic, he could go to the supermarket and run into Spider-Man. That is caked in to the Marvel value proposition. It is also a huge reason as to why the Infinity Saga was so successful. So it's been weird that we haven't had that as much over the past couple of years. But, yeah, I'd love to see Spider-Man, you know, and Tom Holland be doing a bunch of stuff. That'd be awesome. Rosie says, poll it, multiverse or street level. I'm good. Jensen Baker says, having Toby back shouldn't be our focus for the movie. That's Tom's story. Do a new movie for Toby separately. I would love to do a movie with Toby separately. But again, are you saying that Tom didn't have an arc in No Way Home. Like, is that what you're saying? That Tom's Spider-Man wasn't the focus? You know they come into that movie like 45 minutes into the film? Do you know they have like about 15 minutes of screen time? Nobody's saying that? I think you are saying that. Like Agent Llama, I literally think you are saying that. And if you're not saying that, what are you saying? Spider-Man 3 ended with Tom going on a grounded journey. That's true. I can agree with that. What's your point? Like, I don't understand. Like, convince me using actual logic, and I will listen to you. But everything that you have said does not actually stand up to scrutiny. They should continue that with Spider-Man 4. Yeah, that's just how you feel. Right? And hey, you're allowed to feel that way. I disagree. I think you can do some cool grounded stuff and also get right into the multiverse. That's what I think. Van of the Black says, you can't get a Steve Ditko style Spider-Man with Holland. He didn't start that way. He started with Iron Man. And they made us feel they were doing that with No Way Home. Why the setup? I don't understand this question. Okay, so you can't get a Steve Ditko style Spider-Man. He didn't start that way. He started with Iron Man. And they made us feel they were doing that with No Way Home. Why the setup? What? Do you mean that the setup at the end of No Way Home sets up a Ditko Spider-Man? Like a more traditional Spider-Man? You know, with the police scanner and stuff like that? Is that what you're saying? Yes. It does. Yeah. I don't see where the disconnect is. Happy Hogan is a Sim says, Josh, Multiverse of Madness made 900 million, but Captain Marvel made $1 billion and people hate it. Yes, that's true. What's the point? Like, what are you trying to say with that? That success doesn't matter? That box office isn't indicative of a good movie? I would argue the reason we know the second Captain Marvel movie is a failure is not only because it made so low of money, but because when you compare it to the first movie, it is obviously a failure. The first movie is obviously a success. Like, isn't that why we know it's so bad? That's why we know it's so bad, because the first movie made $1 billion. Right? Robin H says, save Alan Richmond for Juggernaut. Dude, he would be a great Juggernaut. That would be sick. I kind of like the way they did Juggernaut in Deadpool 2, though. The big old CGI monster. That's kind of cool. Just felt like rad, and says people don't like the multiverse are tripping. Bro, I'm gonna tell you this right now, and I know this might be another controversial thing, and I know some of you guys are getting all really upset. The people that say they don't like the multiverse, that's not even what they don't like. Like, even the Drinker's video, he's like, the multiverse is bad, but really it's not the multiverse. Like, dude, y'all are just conflating multiverse with lazy. And that's not true. Lazy is lazy. Period. Has nothing to do with the multiverse. Hey, here's a question, chat. Do you think they could do a grounded Spider-Man story that would feel lazy and thrown together? Or is that fucking impossible because it's grounded, therefore automatically great? Use your brain! Codename 17 says... Oh, geez, I think I missed it. Oh, man. Now I got to scroll back up. God damn it. Codename 17 says Spidey 4 with DD and Kingpin could be Cap WS level. Yeah, but, like, are you saying that because it's street level, it'll be the Winter Soldier? Bro, the Winter Soldier isn't what it is because it's street level. What is happening? Am I taking crazy pills? Am I taking crazy pills, dude? Like, what is this disconnect? What is happening? Lord Vito says, you should copyright the idea for an AI app program that can literally create a what-if episode of anything you prompt. I mean, it's not a bad idea. Kaz Popolowski with a 10 spot. That's very generous. Says, to be honest, I am eating up the variant concept, and I want more multiversal movies. All these cinephiles hate it, but it's been cool to hate Marvel for a while. Casuals love Multiverse of Madness, and I just want dope shit. Bro, that is the quote of the day. That might be the quote of the year. I think that's the take. Dr. Wargod says, what's your take on why so many YouTubers are quitting? YouTube is a really hard job. It is kind of thankless in a lot of ways. And that's why. Rosie says, has Marvel dropped Mephisto completely now? No, there are rumors that Mephisto is actually going to be involved for sure. For sure. But who knows, man? A lot of stuff changing over at Marvel. We'll have to see. Logie Wan Kenobi says, been gone for a while, and I've been looking for a copy of Unity. Can you tell me where I can purchase it? Good to be back. Hope all is well. Hey, thanks, man. I really appreciate that. You're going to have a chance to get a copy of Unity maybe next week when we do a second chance Kickstarter. Yeah, I'll let you guys know. A lot of people read it. A lot of people like it, man. No multiverse in Unity, by the way. I would not do that kind of cheap, gimmicky thing. There's no multiverse in Unity. You know what I mean, chat? Rhett Proctor says, question, Josh. If Andrew Garfield is going to be Spider-Man in the MCU, would you want Shailene Woodley? Tyrone Woodley to be his Mary Jane or someone else? Dude, definitely. Tyrone Woodley as his Mary Jane would be excellent. Thank you, Rhett Proctor. RJ Phillips says, 9 months, let's go. I'm definitely here for the multiverse. MOM and No Way Home are some of my favorites. Thanks for this community, Josh. Nerd Vengers for life. Oh, hell yeah. Rosie says with a 10 spot, can you explain why the Spider-Verse team doesn't work with the live action products? The Spider-Verse writing and planning is clearly better. Working together on storyboards and such, industry looked down on it. Yeah, I think that is part of it. So part of this does come from the fact that when you are making an animated movie, you can't rely on magic actor stuff. So oftentimes, like in the MCU, and I've talked about this a little bit recently, RDJ, some of the best lines and some of the best moments that he gave in the Infinity Saga were ad-libs. You know? He needs to keep surprising himself, keep himself interested, and he gets so in character that he'll often just approach the scene from a completely like method perspective, right? So some of that is fantastic. You can't really do that in animation. Like you can't have the two. I mean, it would be way too difficult. Maybe in the future, animation will be democratized enough that that's possible. But for now, like that's not possible because the performance is created via the sound and the animation. So because you have less wiggle room and you can't rely on like finding something with an actor, you have to really lean on story, setup, payoff, right? So, this is why Pixar used to be so good. They used to really understand that. And they'd have ways to completely deconstruct and figure out how to get certain emotional beats to happen in all of their movies, So, yeah, dude, I think that's probably a little bit. Could it work in live action? Absolutely. Would there be major differences to the way that it would have to work? Absolutely. But it still has to fundamentally come from a storytelling perspective, And as long as they have that, they're good. J Mike Gaming says, I've made it far in life, listens to every word of Papa Josh. Y'all should too. Happy to be here. Best YouTuber in the space, without question. Damn, did y'all listen to that? Why can't you guys be more like J Mike Gaming? And have I ever told you that J Mike Gaming is like my favorite? Okay, the Nerd King says, did everyone forget that Tom Holland had one appearance before the newest contract, before Spider-Man 4? Yeah. No, they probably are. They probably are. You know, it's like people that say, oh man, you need Doom to be properly developed. Dude, you can develop Doom in 30 seconds. If you do it right. You know? I just people have all these like weird ideas about like what it takes. Dude, y'all didn't go to film school. You don't know. You know? Just listen to J Mike Gaming, for God's sake. For God's sake, Chad. Josh, have you read Creativity Inc. by Ed Catmull? Tells Pixar story weaved in innovation enablers. No, but that sounds really interesting. I've heard, and this is a little trippy, but I've heard that part of Pixar's success was based on the Hermetic principles. Did you finish film school, though? I finished it about 3 times. 3 separate times I dropped out and came back until I changed my major. But yeah, no, I finished it like 3 times, bro. Come on now. Yeah, it's part of his origin story. Wait, what? She was supposed to play MJ in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Oh, yeah, is that right? Did you see Daniel Rickman got some new Fantastic Four news? What could that possibly be? No, I have not seen that. What does he mean, new Fantastic Four news? Yeah. That's interesting. Well, film school really helps. But if you're telling a historical epic, then maybe you should go to history class with better grasp of the source material. Absolutely fair. That is a fair take. That's like when I took French in 8th, 9th, and 10th grade. Oh, oui, Eli. Taking screenwriting this summer? Hell yeah, bro. That'll be cool. That'll be really cool, dude. All right, chat. I'm going to get out of here. Any last minute thoughts? What else is on your mind before we get out of here? Baguette, eh? I only know the basic French phrases like we surrender. Andrew Lincoln for Reed? Who is that? You know, you guys keep talking about this Andrea Lincoln. I'm changing my username to J Mike is Josh's favorite. Hell yeah! The Men Who Stare at Goats? Dude, yeah. The Men Who Stare at Goats, yeah. That's one of my favorite movies, dude. The Men Who Stare at Goats. Did you know the Monkey Man isn't really a monkey man? Yeah, Rosie, I found out the hard way. Yeah, I found out the hard way. Andrew Lincoln ain't in... What? Andrew Lincoln ain't in shit for a reason. Oh, shit. I missed the old Walking Dead, though. Oh, damn. Jacob Money, are you in here? Hey, yo, Jacob Money. Cybercoastal says, Marvel's profitable movies post Endgame. No Way Home, 1.9 billion. Multiverse of Madness, 950. Wakanda Forever, 870. Guardians of the Galaxy, 840. Thor, 460. In my opinion, they should have just stuck with these properties with hits. Yeah. You know, some of that's kind of like a false positive. Like, I think a lot of us would agree that, like, Love and Thunder is way worse than that number represents. But yeah, no, I mean, generally speaking, that's true. Those are big successful movies, and they should probably just move forward with those characters more, which I think they kind of are. I mean, we're gonna have to wait, right? We'll wait until like the middle of the summer when we get all the you know, hopefully some announcements and some SDCC stuff. What about Shang-Chi? I think Shang-Chi only made like 400 million. Now, that was in the heat of the pandy, and it was no China because they were like, bro, fuck Simu. But yeah, I think Shang-Chi only made like 400. But it was good. How's Liam getting super big? So big. Getting so big. And talking more, you know, using a lot of critical thinking skills. Very, very happy, man. Progressing well. I agree, but it's a miss from Taika more than the property. Totally. Dude, I think Thor 5 might be huge. I'm excited for Thor 5. I think it's be good. Rhett Proctor says, yeah, dude, she was supposed to play MJ in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. There are set photos from 2014. Yo, send me that. Send me that on either Twitter or Discord, bro. I'll look at that. Wakanda Forever, straight up trash, and somehow Thor 4 was worse. I didn't hate Wakanda Forever. I don't love Wakanda Forever, though. And there's this, like, I don't know when I would ever rewatch Wakanda Forever. You know? Same thing with Thor. So they both really missed the mark for me, but I think Wakanda Forever is a much better movie. Is it still Gareth Edwards working on Thor 5? So when he reported that, he basically said they're looking at somebody like Gareth Edwards. I don't even know if they were really reaching out to Gareth Edwards. He probably got that off some kind of grid, some kind of documentation where, like, basically they're saying somebody like Gareth Edwards who does more serious movies is the kind of director we're going to go for. Taika and Gareth are very different. You know what I mean? Just skip the funeral. Yeah, but, like, there's a lot of that movie that I would probably skip, to be honest. Like, that movie's weird to me, dude. Do you think the live-action Spider-Man will make any appearance in the future Sony projects? Dude, that's a great question. That is a great question. I don't know. I think that kind of depends on what arrangement do they have with Marvel. Because there are, like, rumors. Twitch chat wants to know if you're coming back soon with the milk. Yes, I'll be back, Twitch chat. For some reason, Twitch chat stopped showing up. This, like, happens sometimes when I switch the screen. But, yeah. We need X-Men, not T'Challa recast. Why not both? Let's get a T'Challa recast, and let's get the X-Men. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right, guys. I'm going to get on out of here. Thank you very much, guys. Controversial stream. I'm sorry. Hey, sorry if I went too hard. Sorry if I was too rude. But I am right, and you're all wrong. And so the sooner we figure that out, we're going to have a much better time in the tower. Okay, much love. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for being here. Thanks for the subscribes, the memberships, the membership chats, the super chats, the chat. Thanks for smashing like. I appreciate you. Yes, you are rude and wrong, says Will Hurd. God damn it, Will Hurd. Don't you know I'm a sensitive boy? You can't be throwing fucking shit like that around in the chat. No, Chad, I'm not really crying, dude. That was a joke. Get the tissue away from me. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? Oh man, I gotta tell you, Chad, I like to be pretty humble, and I don't like to brag, and we definitely keep the ego in check over here, but it is just so difficult when you're right all the time about everything. I'm so much smarter. I'm so much better. I'm so much more well-spoken. So it's tough. It's hard. Like, damn, dude. Like, come on now. Anyway. Appreciate you. Thanks for being here. Poor use of well-spoken. I was wondering if somebody would catch that. I'd be like, well, I just kind of fucked up saying well-spoken. I wonder if anybody's going to catch that. God damn it, Carl. Carl! Yeah. Remember this stream if it bombs. Hey, don't say that. Hey, don't say that. All right, everybody. Thanks for being here. Much love. I'll have a big video for you over the weekend. I'm going to try to get that Warhammer video going as well. And we'll be back at it on Monday with some good shit, bruh. Open up your third eye. Quick 30 seconds of gambling. Nah, bro, I'm heading out. I got 1 foot out the door. Bad timing. All right, everybody. Open up your third eye and wash out that stinky butt.